The knocking began just after midnight, soft at first, like fingertips brushing glass by accident. I sat upright in bed, listening, counting my breaths. The house was old, the kind that made noises even when it was empty. Pipes groaned. Wood shifted. But this sound was deliberate. Tap, tap, tap dot. It came from the window. My bedroom was on the second floor. No trees grew close enough for branches to reach it. I told myself it was an insect, a bird, anything that didn't require a person standing where no person could stand. The tapping came again, firmer this time. I slid out of bed and crossed the room, each step colder than the last. The curtains hung still. No wind stirred them. I pulled them back an inch. Something pale filled the glass. A face pressed flat against the window. Skin stretched thin, eyes too wide, unblinking. Its mouth was open in a smile that showed no teeth, only a dark hollow like a cave. I screamed and stumbled backward, crashing into the dresser. By the time I looked again, the window was empty. I didn't sleep after that. I sat with the lights on until dawn, replaying the image over and over. When morning came, I convinced myself exhaustion had warped my senses, until I found the handprints. They were smeared across the outside of the glass. Long fingers dragged downward as if something had tried to pull itself in. The prints were too large to be human. I called the police. They checked the yard, the roof, the surrounding trees. There was nothing. No ladder, no footprints, no explanation. Probably a prank, one officer said, though his voice lacked conviction. You live alone, I nodded. Double quotes. Make sure you lock your windows. That night, I did more than lock them. I nailed them shut. At 12:07 a.m. The knocking returned, not at the window, at the bedroom door. Asterisk, the knock on the door was slow, patient, as if whatever stood outside knew I could not escape. Knock, pause. Knock. I didn't answer. I couldn't move. The hallway light was off, but I could see a shadow beneath the door, stretching unnaturally long, writhing as though breathing. Then it spoke. Let me in. Its voice was wrong. It sounded like several people speaking at once, layered and echoing, as though each word came from a different throat. I know you're awake. I pressed my back against the wall, heart hammering so loudly I was sure it. Could hear it. The doorknob turned. I had locked it. I was certain I had locked it. But the knob twisted slowly, testing, stopping just short of opening. A fingernail scraped along the wood. You looked at me, it said softly. That means you invited me. I covered my ears, but the sound seeped through my skull. The door stopped shaking. Silence fell so heavy it rang. Minutes passed, maybe hours. I opened the door. The hallway was empty, but carved deep into the wood, as if done with a blade, were words that hadn't been there before. You should not have. Low-keyed from that night on, the stranger followed me everywhere. Reflections lingered too long. Windows showed shapes that didn't match my movements. At work, I heard tapping on the glass of my office building 30 stories up. At night, I dreamed of the face at the window. Closer each time, its smile wider, its eyes filling my vision until I woke screaming. And always, it whispered my name. Asterisk, I searched for answers. Old records, local legends, anything the house had a history. 3 previous owners, all disappeared. 1 journal remained, hidden behind a loose wall panel. The handwriting grew frantic toward the end. It comes when you acknowledge it. Do not look. Do not listen. Do not open. The final entry was smeared, as if written in a hurry. It learns you. It becomes you. That night, the knocking returned, louder than ever. Every window, every door. The walls vibrated with it. I stayed in my room, eyes shut, hands over my ears. Then I heard my own voice calling from the hallway. Please, it said. I'm scared. Let me in. I opened my eyes. I was standing outside my bedroom door, or something. Wearing my face was Dot's smile, split wider than human jaws should allow. Its eyes were empty holes. You've had the house long enough, it said. Now it's my turn. The lights went out. Asterisk, they found the house empty. No signs of struggle. No body. The windows were all open. Neighbors reported seeing someone standing at the 2nd floor window every night since. Smiling, tapping softly on the glass. Waiting. If you hear knocking late at night, don't look. If you see a face in the window, don't acknowledge it. And if it ever speaks in your voice, never open the door, because once you do, the stranger no longer needs the window, and it will walk out into the world wearing you.